So Beats has never really been known for having the best audio quality, nor did they make budget headphones, but with the Studio 3s, I think the features you're getting here might actually justify that price tag. As always, the presentation and unboxing experience with Beats is amazing, and inside you get a hardshell carrying case to protect these during travel, some literature along with Beats stickers, you get a 3.5mm aux cable, a carabiner clip, as well as a micro USB cable for charging. Starting off with design, things have really changed quite a bit over the past couple of years. So while the shape of the headphones hasn't really changed since the Studio 2s and Studio Wireless, you do get new color options here. When Beats are first introduced, the colors are really in your face, but with the new Studio 3s, they all have a much more subtle and classy design. The one I have here is the porcelain rose color, which looks kind of white with a very subtle rose gold color, as well as some gold accents. The gold parts are actually extremely prone to fingerprints, but the rest of the headphone has this matte finish, so fingerprints and smudges are a lot less noticeable. One of the main reasons that I didn't buy the Solo 3s, which are less expensive, and this is pretty much the main difference between the Solo and Studios, is that the Solos are on-ear while the Studios are over-ear headphones. This means that rather than having a smaller cushion sit on top of your ear, the Studios actually go around your ear, which for me is a lot more comfortable. The only thing I dislike about the feel and comfort is the headband. It's not as soft and cushiony as I would like, and after wearing these for more than about 2 hours, it gets a little uncomfortable, but aside from that, these fit fantastic. Now, I kinda don't want to show my face, so you're just going to have to trust me here, but there's very few headphones out there that fit comfortably on me. The first pair of headphones that I ever got was the Razer Kraken many years ago, and even when it extended the band all the way, it was still very tight and uncomfortable. Then I got the Astro A50s about a year later, and I get it, gaming headsets and all. They were much more comfortable than the Krakens, but I still had to extend the band all the way, and even then, it was just a little bit too short. With the Studio 3s though, the band actually extends 2 steps further than I actually need, and it's also flexible enough that the cups don't squeeze my head. So if you have trouble finding comfortable headphones, these will probably fit you very nicely. One thing I want to mention is that I generally don't like headphones because I feel like they're big, heavy, clunky, and they just stand out too much in public. I've always preferred earbuds simply because they are much lower profile, and they also don't mess with my hair with the headband, but these felt a little different. They're actually surprisingly lightweight, and because of the more subtle color options, I'm way more comfortable wearing these in public than with other headphones. I'm not sure if that applies to anyone else, but I thought I'd just mention that. Now, just like the AirPods, these feature the Apple W1 chip, and what this does is it helps improve the range, the battery life, it automatically pairs it across all of your iCloud enabled devices like your iPhone and Mac, and it also simplifies the pairing process, so all you have to do is power it on and a pop-up will automatically appear on your iPhone with a single tap to pair. The only difference between the AirPods and the Studio 3s in terms of the W1 chip is that with the Beats, you actually have to hold down the power button to power them on, whereas with the AirPods, they automatically connect to your phone once you put them in your ear. If there's one thing that I would criticize about the user experience with the Beats Studio 3s, is that I would have loved to have seen a pair of proximity sensors in the ear cup so that whenever you put them on, they will automatically power on and connect. It wouldn't even use too much battery life anyways, considering how little battery the AirPods use on standby. Also, the sound that plays when you connect and disconnect the Studio 3s are different from the AirPods. Now, on the topic of battery life, you're getting some really good numbers here. So one of the features of the Studio 3s that the Solo 3s don't have is pure active noise cancellation, and basically it just helps reduce the noise around you. With noise cancellation enabled and volume set to about 80%, I'm getting around 17 hours of continuous use. If you disable noise cancellation, you're able to double the battery life to an advertised 40 hours instead of 22 hours. Whether you have it on or off, it really doesn't matter because either way, you're still able to get through a full day of use no problem. You also get fast charging, so if you plug it in for about 10 minutes, you're able to get a couple hours of playback. There's a couple of ways to check the battery life on the Studio 3s. On the bottom of the right ear cup are 5 LED dots, which gives you a rough estimate for the remaining battery life, or you can check from the battery widget. You can check through the control center, or lastly, you can ask Siri for the battery of your headphones. Now, something that I don't understand is why Apple chose to use a micro USB port for charging. Apple went and bought Beats a couple of years ago, and the Studio 3s even use the Apple W1 chip, which makes it work seamlessly with all Apple devices, so I'm curious why they didn't go with Lightning or USB-C. That would have made it much more convenient by only having to use a lightning cable for both your phone and headphones. You can also connect it using a 3.5mm aux cable, but the issue here is that you can't completely power it off the headphone jack, so if your headphones are out of battery, you're also completely out of luck. Regardless though, it's still nice to see an aux cable be included, because if you're for some reason using these to edit a video or for gaming, then plugging them in wired will get rid of the delay from using Bluetooth. It also features an inline remote with a microphone, but you can also control your music through the left ear cup. So if you press the actual Beats logo, it will play and pause your music. Double click to skip track, triple click to go back, and you can also adjust the volume using the buttons above and below it. You can also activate Siri by holding down the Beats logo. One of the features that they're advertising with the Studio 3s is pure active noise cancellation. I'm not sure how many people actually find noise cancellation as a necessary feature, but after having tried it, I think it's a really cool feature. Being able to completely block out the engine of a Porsche 911, which I would say is relatively loud, is pretty cool, and coincidentally, on one of the days that I was using these, it was a really windy and rainy day, so I got to really test the noise cancellation in harsher natural environments, and it was able to completely block out the wind. The noise cancellation also doesn't affect the audio quality either, so you're not going to get any weird distortion if you do enable it. I still don't consider it a necessary feature, but it's one that I would definitely look out for when buying a pair of headphones in the future. Lastly, the sound quality. Now obviously Beats is pretty infamous for not delivering the best audio quality for the price, but they've actually seriously improved audio quality with the Studio 3s here. I was expecting the bass to really be cranked up and overdone, but it's actually pretty good. It's definitely there, but it's not overwhelming either. The bass is clean and none of the bass heavy songs that I listened to sounded overdone, and everything was just well balanced. There's really nothing blatantly wrong or off with the audio, and I think the highs, mids, and lows are all pretty good without any one of them being under or overwhelming. If you're coming from audiophile grade headphones from Sennheiser, you're probably not going to be blown away, but overall, the audio quality on these are surprisingly good. So the takeaway is this: these are very expensive at $350, but they're also really nice headphones. You get a great design with subtle, classy color choices, great sound quality, you get great battery life that will last you days on end, especially with noise cancelling disabled. You get the convenience of the W1 chip, and I think that if you can afford these, you're definitely going to enjoy them. So that about wraps up the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, a like would be much appreciated. This is Infinity Labs, and I will catch you guys later.